A former career Colorado Bureau of Investigation DNA analyst named Yvonne Missy Woods has now pleaded guilty to 4 felonies after investigators accused her of manipulating DNA evidence, omitting critical facts, falsifying records, even testing samples repeatedly until she got the results she wanted. In all these investigations, we're talking about somebody who's been accused of misconduct in over 1,000 cases. Investigators reviewed the cases from 1994 to 2003, but the mishandling of this evidence, it was documented, the dates from 2008 to 2023. Just think about how many investigations may now be potentially tainted or the results questioned. Under this plea deal, Woods is going to serve prison time, facing between 8 and 16 years behind bars when she's sentenced in September. But when you think about not only the stain this places on the CBI, but also the effect it may have, now you talk about a very infamous case, JonBenét Ramsey, that case, that Colorado case, the 6-year-old killed in 1996. What does this mean for her case? To be clear, right now there's no evidence that Woods tampered with DNA evidence in the JonBenét Ramsey case, and investigators haven't said that any of the Ramsey case key DNA findings were compromised. But Woods was working at the CBI during the time of JonBenét's death. Her guilty plea is once again putting a spotlight on the case's most important piece of evidence, the unidentified male DNA that was found on JonBenét's clothing. That DNA helped exclude members of the Ramsey family, but it never matched to a suspect. And for years, JonBenét's father, John Ramsey, has called for that evidence to be tested using the most advanced DNA technology available, including independent testing outside of Boulder. Earlier today, I got a chance to speak with him about the new developments, what this means for the investigation into his daughter's killing. John, good to see you. Thanks for coming on. I mean, when I heard this, we immediately wanted to talk to you. Why? There's no evidence that Woods was involved in JonBenét's case, but you want to talk about a case of a failure of checks and balances. This is it, been going on for decades. It's, no secret. You've been critical of investigators. Were you surprised by this? What's your reaction to it?
Well, we heard about this initially when it was sort of rumored that there were problems in the CBI DNA lab. And we looked into it at that time, it's probably a year ago. And it appeared that Miss Woods was not involved in our case. So we kind of just dropped it. But the DNA initially in our case was, the crime scene evidence, I think, was sent to an outside lab, not to CBI. And they found unidentified male DNA in JonBenét's panties and some other areas. And that was a big problem for the police because they started including evidence. I wasn't sure which one, but now they got unidentified male DNA to explain away. So the DNA, whoever did the DNA then did us a great service by finding them. And then, of course, more was found in 2006 when it was tested using, other crime scene evidence was tested using the latest technology at that point. So I don't think we suffered from misconduct. We did know that a number of items from the crime scene were sent in for testing and a number were not tested. We always kind of wondered why. Seen items and should have been sampled, but they weren't. I don't know if it's a cost issue or they already found unidentified male DNA, so why go any further?
Right. Just goes to a larger issue. I mean, this is pretty incredible to be thinking about her hand on all of these different cases and what the effect might be. I hear when you say you don't think it might have an effect, but does it give you pause to think that you have a lack of faith in the investigation in any way? Does it make you believe that there might have been mistakes in your investigation? If you have somebody here who was accused and ultimately pled guilty to, misconduct with respect to DNA testing for so many years, does it give you pause to say maybe mistakes were made?
Well, possibly, but it certainly didn't favor the police because they wanted to charge Batsy and I and figure out which one. They made that conclusion really immediately. So the real problem, and there's been other cases like this where the police has a captive DNA lab that's has the potential to try to help the police get a conviction. They're not really interested in there's a risk that they're not objective. And there's a big case in Oklahoma, I think a few years ago, where hundreds of cases were thrown out for that reason. Captive DNA within the police structure, which basically this is. And that England, for example, won't allow that kind of evidence to be brought to trial.
Right.
It has to be that any evidence brought to a trial in England, DNA evidence, has to have been sampled by.
Right. And that goes to the point that I just want to back up on. With respect to the DNA in your case, and we're talking again about the one on the long johns, the underwear, what is the status of it? And after what has just happened with Woods, does that affect how it's going to be tested, or who's going to handle it, or where it's going to be tested?
I mean, we've advocated for, a year almost, that police use forensic genetic genealogy, FGG, which is kind of the latest tool that's out there. Amazing what it can do. Government doesn't have that technology yet. You have to go to an outside lab, but it's got to be one that knows how to do it. And so I don't think, well, I do know the chief of police told us last fall that, well, they're going to send some more items out for testing, and I think they sent it to the CBI. That was, I don't know, 6 months ago. So I don't know.
But that's the concern, right? Now, I mean, after this, do you think hey, guys, you see there's a problem. We're taking it to a different lab.
That would be our preference, for sure. Because we don't know, they won't tell us what the results, if any, were of the latest testing done by somebody. It was done by the CBI. And so, yeah, that's a concern. And it's not using the latest technology that's out there. And that's what needs to be done.
I guess the question is, before we wrap up, is the idea now, after what just happened with Woods, to say, are you going to petition now and say, after what just happened with her, she had her hand on all these cases, it shows what the CBI, maybe make that argument, but we have a right. We have a right to have this tested in a different laboratory. Is that something that you're going to use maybe this case to explain it?
We're going to look at it, because we've been very insistent that they use one of these outside cutting-edge labs.
Yeah.
And I'm convinced we can get an answer if we do it. But they won't tell us what they're doing, so we don't know. But no, going to the CBI lab, the government lab isn't using the latest technology. They'll have it set up. They don't have it.
Look, this is a massive story. This has massive implications. Again, we thought of you immediately, wanted to get your perspective on it, want to see how it might affect your investigation. But John Ramsey, wishing you all the best and all the best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.